Hi everybody, this is 22408 Aaron, and Christmas is right around the corner, and I'm pretty sure some of you are going to be getting an iPod Touch. Now, don't these things look really nice? This is a pretty old one. This is like the first generation that actually had the camera on it, but as you can see, it's just a regular iPod. It's actually pretty good. Big screen, battery's dead. The home button could use a little bit of help, but that's fine. There's two cameras made by Sony. They could use a little bit of help. This one's 8 gigabytes and it's imprinted on. And then here's my iPhone. They're both made pretty good. Bye. But now we're going to talk about another MP3 player that claims to be an iPod. Well, it doesn't really claim to be, but it kind of does. And I'm pretty sure right off the bat, you're looking at it and you're like, man, this does not look anything like an iPod. Well, it kind of does with the button right there. And that's about it. This is the back of it right here. Let's take a look at its beautifulness. We'll start off on the back. Let's see here. Once it decides to focus. Oh, there we go. Designed by Apple in California, assembled in China. The assembled in China part's not right. It was built in China. Everything in this thing is Chinese. And there's no period between those. It's designed by Apple in California and assembled in China. And it was not designed by Apple in California. It's designed by some cheap Chinese person in China. And there's the FCC logo. FCC probably doesn't even know the slightest crap about this. You have no throwaway, I guess. CE, some numbers, and then I don't even know if that is actually a real thing. Keep hitting the tripod. Hang on, let me take a look at something. Back of this actually does not state it. Actually, yes, it does. Let me take the iPod. Since my iPhone doesn't have it, I wish I could use the iPod phone because you can barely see it, but it says, let me rub this off, it's very dirty. And yet it is almost the same what Apple has. You know, very naughty. Very, 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 very naughty. As you can see, you got a nice touch screen here. Actually, it's not that nice. I believe this is resistive. And then this, which is usually on the iPhones, this is not metal. This is cheap, and I mean really cheap. Plastic. Nasty cheap. And this is plastic. You can even see that there's a crack right there. Actually, you really can't, but there's a crack there. And this is the back. And as you can see, it is a fingerprint magnet. Picks up every which fingerprint that comes on it. And right there you have your camera, your very, very cheap camera. You have your LED. You have the TV out with, headphone out, which I find this really interesting. TV out. They actually managed to get this very, very, very generic thing actually to TV out. I don't see why anyone would want to use this for TV out. I don't even see why someone would want to use this. Right, there's the reset, which you have to stick something really small there so you have to open up the back. I'll show you what I mean by opening up the back in a bit. We have your lock, unlock, and your power. And one thing I found very interesting about this is it actually has an LED. Very interesting. Although it only likes to come on when it wants to. Sometimes when you're taking a picture, it says that you can probably, there's a way to do it when you're recording, but I tried to do it and it didn't work. So, you got your volume buttons, and then you also have your SD card slot automatically. This is not an Apple product. On its mobile devices, they do not put external memory. And this, obviously, they have found a way to get a micro SD reader on this. Very, very naughty. And these buttons, extremely nasty cheap. Now it's time to peel off the back, and you can see all the cheap guts they have on the inside. Yeah, that's not exciting. Oh, listen. Does that give you any better of a hint how cheap this stuff is? Anyways, let's take a look. See, look at that generic camera. That thing is so cheap. Look at it. And you can see the LED. It actually doesn't get very bright. See the microphone there. There's the headphones port. The reset button. What you have to do is like take the screwdriver and like stick it in here because it does get frozen quite a bit. There is the volume up and down buttons. There's your SD card slot, and then there's the nasty cheap battery. At the bottom, it did have two screws, but we removed those to get into this thing. Let's see if I can get this back on. You don't have to remove this back to anything. And yes, it actually does have micro USB. Every generic Apple device I've seen basically actually had an actual Apple thing. This one doesn't. So, ready for the moment of truth? Here we go. But first I just want to point out that this is actually a speaker, but you don't hold it up to your ear. It looks like it, but you don't hold it up to your ear. I don't even think the speaker's right behind that, actually. And this button is very cheap. It's just a piece of plastic, like cut in about 90%. You can see how it's spongy. You press in there, just it's another button. It's simple. But now for the moment of truth. Let's turn it on. Welcome. Very blocky. iPhones don't do that. Or iPods, for that matter. And, oh, there we go. Alright, let's see here. We have music, video, photo. We have photo, recorder, game, applic, system, explore, ebook, capture, record, radio, PC camera, calendar, calculator, and calibrate. Now, if you were to actually make something like this, the least you could do is actually capitalize the first letter in the word, like also, you cannot move around the app. So, if I don't want the calibrate button actually right there, which should see me in the settings, I'm stuck with it. Turn on. Sorry about that, guys. I hit the tripod. So let me try adjusting it. I have to do this. Ugh. Anyways, so as you can see, I'm stuck with the calibrate button being right here. And even though there's a calibrate button in the system, I don't get it. And obviously some of these are just stolen off the iPhone OS. Like you see the system settings, the Explorer. That's partially stolen, but they edited a little bit. The video kind of. Music maybe, but the photo, it's just wrong. Look at it. It's horrible. It looks like it was done on Microsoft Paint. And you can tell that this is actually just taken off the iPhone because you can see the little loop thing from when it actually did that on the iPhone apps, which now it doesn't. So, oh yeah, I want to demonstrate something with you, okay? You can see how I'm just tapping this when it goes into sleep mode, right? Watch what happens when I put it into lock mode. This is the lock mode. See? It says lock. Alright, turned off, okay? Let's say you have something in your pocket bumping around. Touch it, it'll actually turn on. And it'll wear off your battery, which already is horrible. And if it was unlocked, then it would actually, let's see, unlocked. It would actually just bump around when you tap it, it'll open. This is not one of those fingerprint touch screens where you have to use your finger or something warm to touch it. No, anything can touch it. So first, let's go to music. I don't want my music app first, but oh, turn off, turn off, turn off. At least it's not. And look, notice this thing's this is like probably one of the worst, and I do mean the worst music player I've ever seen. Like seriously, I guess that's probably where the picture goes, but it's a horrible picture. Yes, somehow it got to stop. You have, let's see, browser, setting, format, and desktop. Anyways, let's flip through. Take Me to Your Heart and Butterfly, those are two songs that are automatically preloaded. And as you can see, it just goes at random. See? You can never actually get. I've already loaded some songs on here. Actually, it's way easier than the iPods. I have to give them something for that. But the downside is it does not get very loud. Let's play some royalty-free music. This is maximum volume, 31, not 30. That's horrible. Anyways, let's get out of that as soon as possible because it's a horrible audio player. I'm sorry. And right there, that clock, it does not automatically set. You have to do it yourself, and it is extremely impossible. It's not impossible, but it's very hard. Next, let's go to the video. And it actually come up with a preloaded thing on it. You double tap it. Continue last play. No, let's start from the beginning. I like starting off from the beginning of most things. Anyways, no. This may be copyrighted, so we're only going to play a couple seconds of that. Well, it kind of plays videos okay. It doesn't look like that on camera, but it actually does. Imagine if you put a Despicable Me or something on that, like this on that. It'll probably make the thing explode, which won't be that bad of a thing. Let's go to photo. And it comes with some preloaded stuff on it. 02.png. Look, it shows a female penguin that's actually purple, not blue. And there's a red penguin with a flower taking her to her. I guess what he's trying to do is he's trying to, because as you can see it's on the edge, if she doesn't accept it, she's going to have to fall in the water. And also, there is some Chinese writing which I cannot read. Let's see here, pressing this button. Oh god, that took a while. And there's a girl. And it does these absolutely random things. I don't like that. Look, it does random fades. It's horrible. Oh boy, this thing's absolutely lovely. Recorder. Let's see if I can get this thing to work. Let's see here. Stop. Play. Is it recording? No. Oh yes, it is recording. It's gonna do is REC 0007. Okay, while it's recording, it's just gonna be, we're gonna let it record. So, obviously, turn on. Thank you. As you can see, I have like 5, 18, 30, 11. I think that was some kind of screw up because I don't think it can record that long. Yeah, let's see here. Turn that off. I said turn it off. Anyways. Yes, it's extremely behind. It says saving file. They should at least put a record button. You know what? I'm going to grab a stylus. It's going to be much easier. Alright, let's see here. Let's go to the game. They need to work on their grammar. Well, let's see. We have Go Bang, Chinese, Road, and Mine. Since Mine is the only thing I know how to play, which it's really... I forget the name of the game. It's all I know is it's not called Mine. So, let's go. You see, you have the smiley face here. I think that's a good thing right there. See? And it's bad. Click somewhere here. I think it's here. No. Nope. Oh, here we go. We have bloop, 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 bloop. Uh-oh. You know, this game's impossible to play. Look. Hard, exit, mine. This thing's kind of random. Sign, mine, exit. And it, unlike any other game, it'll take you back to the main screen. Let's try Road. I'm always willing for a first time. Alright, what's this? Do you drag it? No. Do you double tap it? No. Oh. I don't know. I really don't know. It's a game in that nature. Oh, press game. That I cannot read. Hang on. I think I go to level 20. I don't know how to play. Let's see. Exit. And let's see, it'll take you back to the games menu. So nice of it. Okay, so what's this? I think this was the Chinese thing. I think it may be supposed to be called Chinese checkers. However, I do not know how to play Chinese checkers. Let's now do Go Bang. It looks like actually that. Yeah, I can see why it has an ashtray. Picture of an ashtray. See, look. Is that an ashtray there? I think it is. Of course, the camera doesn't want to focus on it, so maybe. Look at that guy. He's smoking. There's a picture of an old guy. Alright, let's see here. It focuses. Alright, we put random dots. I poke this, it does not show up where I poked it. See? Absolutely random. That button does not sound at all. It's very, very loud and annoying. Let's see, go to Applic with a picture of a briefcase. We have Stopwatch and Notebook. Let's do the Stopwatch first. Start counting, and it's very jerky. It's nice how it does the milliseconds thing, but it's not accurate probably. It's just doing it at random. Lovely. Next. See how it's not instant? It'll take about a couple milliseconds, which isn't that bad, but it only lasts like 5 laps. Horrible, horrible, horrible. I wonder why they put the two things with the folders the 3 things with the folders right next to each other. I have no idea. Alright, now this is very interesting. See? It gives you a notebook. Very, very interesting. So let's type Aaron's awesome. A-A-R-O-N is... So overall, it actually is not that bad of a... It's not that hard to do, you just have to go very slow and mash the screen. This is what happens if you mash the screen. Oh yeah, shall I mention it has, like... It has... draw to whatever you call it. See, watch. Let's see if it'll recognize that that's a G. Yeah, it did. Let's see if it'll recognize that this is an A. Yes, it did. Let's see if this is lowercase a. No, it thinks it's a G. And that's an N. And that apparently is an I. See, that's not an I. Oh, now it's a Y. No, I don't. There we go. Let's go to system set. It's obviously system settings. I knew that from the start. But anyway, so let's go to the information just says all this stuff on it, so I don't need to do that. Set time. These little things right here, like the up and down things. Watch what happens when I press up. It goes down. That makes no sense. Oh yeah, I think whenever the battery dies, it actually like goes to the factory time. We have language. I don't know how to change it, which is good because I want to keep it on English. Let's go to display. Blight time. See, look, not bright time, blight time. I think I actually set it on 30 seconds, but I didn't remember. Press the down button, not the up button, then it'll go up to 30. I don't see why that would be under display. And you can just change the brightness. Apparently that doesn't seem to do anything. Actually it did, just not a lot. See? That's supposed to bring it all the way down, but it's not, because it's making me look like an idiot. See, look, calibrate, and it even has, it's called calibrate there, and, yeah, it's called calibrate there too. And I can see why the screen is so off. Look, there's only 3 things where you can calibrate it at. It's horrible. POW off time. That's kind of a good setting. Default setting. Upgrade. Yes, you can actually upgrade this piece of garbage. I don't know how you can upgrade it because I don't even think you can actually use this thing if it's actually plugged in. So how are you supposed to get to the menu and upgrade? Also, the upgrade is actually to the right, not center under it. See, when you press this, it says, warning, please plug in USB. No. Other settings. Format device. Format device, and it says main disk and format card. Ugh. Select device U memory, MTP memory. TV out on, and then you can adjust it. Actually, I'm done here. We'll get out of it. Now, this is Explorer. You know, this thing does not get Wi-Fi, so it just says flash memory, which is memory on this. So you can just see whatever you have on it, which is very, very interesting. See, you have all this stuff on it. Ugh. A face. And then you also have the .trash. What's this? Oh, it doesn't want to open it. Rubbish. Anyways, so after that, let's go to the ebook. Yes, this thing will actually allow you to read a book. Not that great. Well, actually, I'm not going to say it's bad because this is the demo.txt. Comes preloaded on it. And it's a bunch of unreadable things. And actually, it does the job fairly well, I think. I haven't actually put an actual book on it or even writing a. So maybe what I'm thinking is going to do is if it's one word and it's right here, it'll actually come down to the second line without any warning. Very, very bad. Because it looks like it does that quite well on this thing. So let's go to well, I'll demonstrate some things to you, but capture and record are both two different apps. They probably just need to find a way to fill up the thing. So let's go to capture. And this is the picture thing on it. See? Very, very jerky. If you want to see what a picture looks like that was taken on this, here's what it looks like. Yep, lovely. Alright, let's see here. Record. Come on. Alright. As you can see, it's actually that jerky. It really is that jerky. And if you really want to see, I was in my metal shop the other day. Actually, it was yesterday. And I turned this on and I tried, because usually it doesn't work when you try pressing this, it'll just go away. But I pressed it and it started recording, so I just took advantage of making a test video for it. And I'll show you how long it takes for it to adjust to orange. It was like on white or something, then it took like a couple seconds for it to actually acknowledge that it was orange.
Come on, guys. Let me run, Mr. Pig. Let me run. Hey,
very, very annoying. And this actually also comes with modes. See, black and white. You can't see it. Sepia, or however you pronounce it. And this. Don't know what that is. Let's go back to nothing. And then, of course, there is the light, which does not turn on. Let's see if I can get it to turn on. Auto. Maybe if I start recording, if it'll let me. Actually, I don't think this actually has to do with it. No, I think what it does is, let's see. Oh, it's actually a little bit better now, I'll have to say. Let's see what happens if I press record. Let me fiddle with this thing. Oh, it's actually recording. Maybe I'll also put this as another demo. Ugh, lovely. And I'm just looking at it, and it's having a horrible time being able to look at that button thing right there. See it? I put LEDs in, so therefore it's very bright, and it's actually not picking it up very well. I have to just break my tripod. This thing is nasty cheap. Come on, there we go. Alright. Let's get out of this joy. After we look at the resolution that it's wanting that it does. This is its highest resolution, 320 by 240. That is a horrible resolution. I mean, really horrible. Alright, let's see here. Let's do radio. Hang on. I first have to get my earbuds. Ugh, I actually had them in my pocket. So I didn't have to get them. Okay, so the screen's turned off. Poke. Alright, so as you can see, it has a radio. Not very good radio, I will say that. So, I guess we can listen to a couple seconds of copyright music. Or, I'll show you something. Alright, we're back. And, actually, no we're not. Here we are. Anyways, ugh. So, now let's try out the radio. Let me get the thing plugged in or else it won't let you do it. Now, this is not the greatest radio player. It'll probably start playing. This is copyright. Oh no, don't play it, don't play it. See, this is what you have to do. Yep. And it gets almost nothing. Shh. Shh. So I can get it. Wow, it plays louder? Let me see. Oh, yeah, it does. Sometimes you can even get it so it'll actually play out of the... There we go. It'll play out of the speaker, even though it does not like doing it. the radio won't turn back on because it's just plugging earpods, but another sad thing. I'll tell you what, it's pretty odd. The radio station, and there goes the iPod. And now it's screwed up to where it's only gonna play it here. Oh, really? I'm not gonna really turn the thing off. Yep, that's the joys of this thing. Alright, so anyways, this radio is quite a bit off. The thing playing right here says 106.7. Remember, you have to put it about 107.0, 107.1 to get it to work right. Yes, it's very, very annoying. So, and if that, slight movements will make it so we'll get just nothing but hiss. See? And the thing's right here. Of course, you'll just always be able to turn it off. I'll get to hiss, but no, this thing has a slightly shit. No, I'm not gonna say slightly horrible radio. But actually, I think the thing also may have to, the off thing may also have to do with this. I've also tried it in cars and didn't do that. But it also does the same thing with other radio stations. Lovely. So, let's unplug these. Goodbye, Apple earbuds. Anyway, so this is very interesting. I found this very interesting. I only got it to work like once. Now I'm not actually be able to use it while it's plugged in this computer once. And so I don't see how you could use it. But if you go, this thing actually can use this as a PC camera. You know, like the webcam. Of course, it doesn't work. See? Ugh. No, get out of that. And also, the background is black. And the calendar is always the 8th. And it is not the 8th. It is actually the 3rd. It's not going to be uploaded for a month, though. So don't get mad at me. And the calendar is, I believe, from last I heard, it was pretty rubbish. And it always puts on New Year's Day. That's really neat how it actually just says the holidays. Good for you, China. And it also even has a calculator. A really, really bad one with a blank button. Maybe it'll do something for you. See? Start. What's this button? It doesn't do anything. I can't get it to do anything either. I guess it'll give you the right answer. However, I'm not going to put any money on it. So, and then last there's calibrate. So, I think I'm ready to turn this thing off now. Goodbye. So, about this thing, do I recommend it? My answer, probably not. This thing is a load of old rubbish. It does not work. Well, actually, it works. It does its job, but very, very, no. It's just a. Thanks, Sony. You have a 30-minute limit. Sony. Anyways, so do I recommend this? Not really. Well, I mean, if you're on a budget, this thing's only about $20. So, if you're on a budget, absolutely not. Well, maybe, if you really, really need, are desperate for one, and you want to look like your friends. You're not going to look like your friends with this, though. So, I'd recommend just going for an iPod, although, if your parents are thinking about getting you a cell phone if you don't have one already, just wait to get an iPhone. It does the exact same thing, only better.